Real concern that that could have an impact. Today, the administration defending him, everyone from Sarah Sanders. I just spoke to Kevin Hassard, who's the chairman of the Council of Economic Advisors, who said there's nothing wrong with what the president did. It was appropriate because he was excited about the jobs report, and he didn't get specific about the numbers. Here's what Larry Kudlow had to say, Hallie.
It's my call whether to send them over to the president to give him a call or have a meeting with him. That's just what I did last evening, okay? I tracked him down on Air Force One. I wanted him to know the numbers. By law and custom, that is correct. He has the right to know. He's the commander-in-chief. That's all. He chose to tweet. His tweet basically said, like everybody else, we wait the job numbers. You can read into that 10 different things if you want to read into it. The numbers themselves came out about consensus, slightly more. That's good news. I don't think he gave anything away, incidentally. And I think this is all according to routine, as I say, law and custom. By the way, Carl, when I was here, whatever, 35 years ago, it was exactly the same system. I was in OMB in those days. The CA sent the numbers over to OMB, and we decided whether to alert the president or not. It really hasn't changed.
Former Obama administration officials, Hallie, including Jason Furman, not dismissing this. They say it's significant. They say the president shouldn't receive the jobs report in advance in the future. So certainly sparking a fierce debate again against the backdrop of another debate over the president's announcement that he is slapping new tariffs on steel and aluminum. Yesterday, of course, the United States allies already announcing that they're planning to retaliate, everyone from Mexico to the EU as well as Canada. Let me read you what the president's tweeting today, Hallie. He tweeted, "Canada has treated our agricultural business and farmers very poorly for a long period of time. Highly restrictive on trade. They must open their markets and take down their trade barriers." Now, this comes amid concerns that those talks over NAFTA could all but be dead. I asked Kevin Hassard about that. No reaction to that, Hallie.
Kristen Welker, thank you. I want to get some reaction from overseas because that is where the action is now. NBC's Matt Bradley is in our London bureau. Matt, you know Canada is not happy. We heard from Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. You know Mexico and the EU are not happy either. And that is what is creating a lot of the turmoil that you're seeing in the markets.
That's right, Hallie. I mean, the Europeans here, they're tired of talking about tariffs, and it really looks like they're kind of ready to fight back. But the messaging, it seems, is that if there's going to be a trade war, the European Union really wants to make sure that they're not seen as the ones firing that first shot or escalating things unnecessarily. Now, there are two steps that we're hearing about in this near term. The European Union first wants to file a legal complaint against the U.S. at the World Trade Organization. Now, they've started that process already today. The EU just submitted a request for consultations with the U.S. at the WTO. But the EU is also talking about its own subsidies, and they're targeting signature American products like bourbon whiskey and Harley-Davidson motorcycles. But they also want to make sure that the U.S. public knows that this will hurt jobs in the U.S. as well as here in Europe. And we heard today from Cecilia Malmström. She's the European Commissioner for Trade. Take a listen.
It is unfortunate because this is further weakening the transatlantic relations, and it also increases the risk of severe turbulences in the markets globally. Protectionism can never be a solution, and this will hurt jobs here in the European Union, but also in the US.
And one thing here is clear, Hallie, and that's that nobody believes the president is levying these subsidies because